Hello everyone, greetings from PayTap's technical support team. In this series, you will learn how to integrate with PayTaps through our PT2 API endpoints. Throughout the series, we will walk you through the second integration type, which is the invoices. And for the purpose of this series, we have created a very simple Laravel project to walk you through the integration process. But feel free to follow the steps in this series with your own project, whatever the programming language or the frameworks used to integrate with PayTaps. So, let's get started. In this video, we are going to learn more about one of the most significant optional parameter, which is the customer detail and the shipping details. Now, let's get started. The first thing that you should know about is that you can find the full documentation for this part inside PayTap's support portal under the article called the Invoices APIs Integration Manual. Now, normally what we have done in step 3 over here, initiating the payment and invoice endpoint, what we were creating is what we were sending a payment, but we didn't send any customer detail with it. So our payment page would look like something like this. If I navigate it to pay now, over here, I can see that my customer will still be required to fill out his billing detail and his shipping details. So what if I don't want my customer to fill his payment, his customer detail and shipping detail inside the payment page? I want to make the payment pages only for payment. I want him to only enter his card details and just pay the invoice. So actually I can do that using the customer details parameter and the shipping details parameter. If I get back over here and will reload my page and I get back to my solution article, the simple request payload, I will see over here that one of the most important things that you can use is the customer details object. Now, the customer details object is not required in the payment request or the invoice request, but the customer details, as we just said, will still be required inside the payment page. So if you do fulfill it inside your payment request or inside your invoice request, the customer will not be required to fulfill it inside the payment page. Let's see how this works. I will come over here to my code and I will generate the customer details objects from the details from my request, and the same for the shipping details. And I have created a simple check button over here to check that if this button is checked, this one over here, I will send the same detail for shipping as the same for the customer details. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fill out my customer details. I'm not going to shoot the shipping details. I'm going to fill out manually my shipping details. I'm going to choose PayTaps and I'm going to submit. Let's see how this works. Now, if I click Pay Now, you will see that I am not required to enter any of my billing details. I'm not required to enter any of my shipping details, as I have already passed these two objects. If I navigate to the full payload over here, I will see that I have passed these two objects to my request payload. So right now, all what I need to do is just fill out my card number and just pay the invoice. This is how you can make the payment page as seamless as possible for your customers. Now, another cool feature that you can use actually is called the hide shipping feature. So the hide shipping gives you the power to completely remove the shipping and the customer details from the payment page. So let's come over here. Let's pass or use this parameter, which is the hide shipping, and it is a Boolean parameter, so I'm going to give it the value of true, and just like that. Now let's do the same this time and pass the shipping details or pass the customer details and the shipping details to see how this works. This time I'm going to pass only the customer details. I will leave the shipping details empty to see the behavior. If I clicked on submit and navigated to pay now over here, I will see that neither my customer details nor my shipping details was chosen. Why is that? Because I have sent both my customer details and I have sent the hide shipping true. So now your customer will only see his card details. He will be able to fulfill it like that. He will be able to finish the payment in one time. Now, let's get back to the payment page and try something else. To see the power of my hide shipping feature, I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave this open. I'm going to fill out my customer details. I'm going to submit my payment. And as you can see, once I click on Pay Now, my customer will also not be required to fill out his payment details. And here, this is how the hide shipping works. Now, what I actually want to test this time is to remove the hide shipping, remove the customer details, meaning I will not send both the customer details nor the shipping details. I will leave them both empty and submit my payment. And this time, the customer will be required to only fulfill his customer details, and his shipping details will not be required at all. And this what hide shipping does. If you fulfill it, if you send hide shipping as true and you didn't send the customer details nor the shipping details, your customer will still have a mean of a seamless payment by removing the shipping details and just asking the customer details. Now if I fill out like this and just fill out my payment this time, I will go to the pay now and I will see the transaction will be paid successfully. And this how the customer detail and the shipping details objects works. Now we can move to the next part.